Hello viewers, followers, friends, etc. It's Francis Jeffery coming to you again, except this time from East Haddam, Connecticut. This tree right here is actually the first American chestnut tree that I had ever found that I realized was a American chestnut tree. And the story goes that I was a student at Franklin Academy just down the road from here back in the fall of 2005. And the summer before that, my dad, who used to be a scout ranger, was telling me about the decimation of the American chestnut tree. In my previous video, you'll actually hear a deeper lecture about this. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick. And see a mature one, which is relatively close to here and very rare. But I wanted to point out that this tree is doing what chestnut trees do when they get the blight, which is that they get girdled at the base, and the virus eats through the tree's only cambium layer, so nutrients can no longer get sent up the tree. And the virus does not kill the tree's root system, so the tree is capable of resprouting for a number of years until it eventually dies. Some trees keep resprouting for centuries, but when they do, they look very bushely. You see here the blight canker has probably totally circumferenced the base of this stump resprout. More than likely, this was a healthy, mature American chestnut tree at one point, but the blight girdled it, and so for many decades now this tree has been resprouting. This is almost exactly how it looked when I first found this tree back in the fall of 2005. And right next to it, farther down the street from here, just before the nature trail starts, there's another one right past this oak tree here. But once again, this one is doing the same thing that American chestnut trees do when they get the blight, which is that they get girdled and then start resprouting out of old stumps, and do that for decades, maybe even a century or two. But once that starts happening, they're not able to reproduce. So most of these trees are living on borrowed time, but they still are relics of what used to dominate the forest a century and a half ago. I might be able to use my DSLR camera to get a great fine art photo of that. this was actually the second American chestnut tree that I found in my lifetime. All right, I've made my point. So it's time to move on. I just want to point out that these trunks right here are probably from the same tree, and it's all just resprouting out of the same stump and getting girdled again and again. Bye bye.